yesterday I wound up calling search and rescue and being helped off a mountain. And I want to share some of the things that I learned from that experience. So, a quick bit of background. We were hiking a 3-day trail and decided that we didn't want to. We got rained out. And on the way towards exiting that trail, one of the party that I was with got injured, and we were very, very slowly making our way down a trail that we had not planned for and were unfamiliar with, and ended up asking for help. And we're very, very lucky that we managed to have reception and get connected with the Lions Bay Search and Rescue. So, I guess I want to talk a little about how that happened. So I called 911. They recommend that that's just the best thing to do. Not try and find their non-emergency line. Just like call 911 and say, hey, I want search and rescue. I learned that there's a little bit of kind of like annoying back and forth that you do with a police dispatcher before they actually get you in touch with anybody who knows anything about where you are. So it was I was on the phone about 15 minutes with the police dispatcher, giving them like stuff like my home address and my phone number. Well, phone number was useful, but giving a lot of additional information that it felt a bit extraneous at the time while they were telling me to not move, and we were sitting on the side of a mountain, being rained on, getting cold, watching it get dark, and feeling like we needed to keep moving. So the police actually I wound up losing that call. Even though they were telling me not to move, they wound up hanging up on me somehow. And we just decided to keep moving. Kept moving down the mountain. At this point, I think my wife and I were both trading off carrying our friend's backpack. So, and we were going down ridiculous amounts of elevation. We realized this was definitely a point that we needed a little bit of help to get down safely. So, as we were heading down, we got a call back from Search and Rescue. And they connected with me and gave me a little bit of info on the trail that we were actually coming down, because we weren't familiar with it, which was great. And they let us know that they were actually going to be able to get a decent way up the trail, but we would have to keep hiking down for about the next hour, which was something we were able to do, sharing the pack. And then they met up with us, and it was absolutely wonderful to have someone meet us and help us down the rest of the mountain. And they checked out my friend's knee, and we managed to get out of it. But I want to talk a little about what I learned. So when the search and rescue actually met up with us, and at this point we were night hiking, and so we kind of like saw the lights and then met the people, and we were very like just overjoyed to be rescued. It's a really lovely feeling to be like, to feel a little bit safe. And then we got back to the truck, and they were asking, does anyone need food? Does anyone need Gatorade? Is anyone cold? Do you want a puffy? And I found that our reaction to that, like both myself and my wife, who were not the injured party, we were like, oh no, we're fine. No, don't worry about us. Like look after our friend who has a knee issue. Like, please just we're okay. We're fine. And this was about 10 o'clock at night, and we'd been hiking in cold and wet, and we hadn't had dinner. and none of this clicked for us. I'm pretty sure we were badly dehydrated too, and we were just making bad decisions. And I think what I learned is, if you ever get rescued by search and rescue, and they offer you food, they offer you Gatorade, they offer you warm clothes, basically just say yes to everything. Because it wasn't until they drove us back to our car, where we had a chance to change into dry clothes, that we realized just how cold we were and just how hungry we were. And they were offering us food and warm clothes the whole time. And we thought we were fine because we weren't the injured people. But coming down a mountain in the cold and in the wet and being responsible for someone else is also something that will exhaust you. And that was one of the biggest things that I learned. I really want to give a shout out to the absolute legends from Lions Bay Search and Rescue that volunteered to take time off their Saturday night plans to come out and find us and help us off a mountain. So Dave, Daphne, Mark, Brent, thank you guys so much. If I would highly, the whole thing is a volunteer organization. I'm going to be making a donation to them to help them get going. And Lions Bay Search and Rescue, lbsar.com, is where anyone else can make a donation if they feel inclined to. I'm down off the mountain now. I'm fine. But those are some things that I learned, and I hope my rambling is helpful for someone else.